Let's talk about why your content might perform well on one platform and totally flop on another. My name's Jen, I'm a content creator. I have over 275,000 followers on TikTok, over 100,000 followers on Instagram, and only 562 followers on YouTube. I have been creating content for over 2 years now. I primarily started on TikTok. Last year my focus was on Instagram, and this year my focus is on YouTube. And approaching each of those platforms is so different, and your strategy should be completely different for each platform, and this is why. Think about yourself as a consumer and what you look for when you tune into each platform. Most people are coming to YouTube because they want to learn something, they want to be entertained, they're sitting down ready to watch a longer form video. Whereas when people go on TikTok, they're trying to distract themselves, or they're trying to just mindlessly scroll. They want quick, they want fast, they want funny, they want to be entertained. I would say Instagram falls somewhere in the middle there, and you have a little bit more success kind of merging the two, but TikTok and YouTube are completely different approaches. I think the first thing that's really important to recognize is you'll probably use different equipment for each platform. For example, when I film my YouTube videos, I use my nice camera. I think it's better to have high quality footage. People want to see high quality footage. Using my phone isn't going to draw people in the way that a camera like this would. Whereas when I film TikToks, I am using my phone camera 99% of the time. I've actually tried to film TikToks using my nice quality camera, and I have found that the views are lower, people are less engaged. I don't know if it's because it's just less obtainable or people feel like it's less relatable, but people want to see you film content on your phone. On TikTok, you also want to be very short form and quick to the point. People want to know exactly what it is you're saying, and they want to hear it in like 10 seconds or less. If you don't immediately capture people's attention, they're gone. Now on YouTube, I feel like people are willing to give you a little bit more time to explain your position and figure out what you're talking about. A really good example of this is Life of Rizza. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with her. If you're not, you should check her out. I love watching her YouTube videos. They are so serene. They're really beautiful. She really tells a story. I mean, they're just filmed, like, the quality is amazing. But I went and looked her up on TikTok, and she has less than 5,000 followers. And I think the reason for this is she's using the same strategy between both platforms, and it's just not working. Yes, people on TikTok are looking for that really beautiful aesthetic vibe, but they want it to be a much faster pace. What she films on YouTube is so slow, but not in a bad way. It's just like you're really breathing in the moment, and you just don't have that luxury on TikTok. Obviously, I am not an expert on what performs well on YouTube, as I am just starting this channel and figuring out what works well, but I'm just going based off my experience of what I have seen and what I've noticed on other creators who have big audiences on one or the other platform that doesn't seem to be translating well. I think another thing to be really cognizant of is each platform treats their creators and pushes content very differently. A platform like YouTube is going to reward its creators and send out content to its following no matter what. Whereas I've noticed on TikTok, the algorithm doesn't necessarily guarantee that if people are following you, they're gonna see your content. I've actually heard the opposite of people will follow on TikTok and suddenly they stop seeing that creator. Obviously, it's extremely frustrating as a creator once you develop a following if they're not seeing the videos you're putting out. But again, just something to be aware of. This was definitely one of the main reasons that I started focusing more on Instagram last year. I feel like Instagram and YouTube have the same philosophy, which is once you have gained followers, they reward you by showing your following your videos and photos. I do think that one theme that is consistent across all platforms is this idea that you need to have a niche. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, I basically mean when you decide to start posting about something, whether it's photography or fashion or makeup, you should stick with one lane. And this really frustrated me when I first started posting because I actually started as someone who posted about books. And then I ended up posting about my dog, and then I ended up posting about fashion. And I kind of had success in each lane, but the transition period between each one, it was so hard to get views and get people to like and comment and engage with my content. And part of the reason is that the algorithm is confused and doesn't know what to do with your content. So when you're posting the same type of thing, it knows where to push it. It knows the kind of people who want to see your content, and it keeps pushing to the same people, and it rewards you for essentially following the rules. I'm not saying you have to do this. Obviously, make and post content that makes you happy. But if you are looking to grow and you want to see quick growth and success, I think that is a much easier, faster way to do that. Again, just think about the people that you follow. You probably follow them for a specific reason. You like learning about their DIY. You like seeing how they take photos. Like, there's a very specific avenue and reason you are following along. So just keep that in mind when you're making your own content. I think so much of being a creator is just having confidence and believing in yourself and just pushing through and putting content out, whether it sticks or not. If you go through my page, you'll see I have a video with like 1.6 million views, and the one right after it has less than 3,000 views. But you have to keep posting and you have to keep pushing through that, because otherwise you're not going to get anywhere. I know people like to say they have the exact equation or the exact answer to be successful on social media. I personally don't think that exists. I think you have to throw a lot of things at the wall to figure out what sticks. And honestly, to me, the biggest piece is just keep going. Like, keep posting, keep creating. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, but figure out what works for you, and I promise eventually something is going to stick.